Hey everyone, I hope you're doing well. Thank you for stopping by. It is always great to see you. I hope you're having a fantastic week. So today's video is extremely budget friendly. I thought something silly in my head. I was going to do a bullet wound out of cotton and liquid latex, but I decided how could I make it really, really easy for someone that doesn't want to sculpt, that doesn't want to take time to do a bunch of building and a bunch of layers. So I'm making a bullet hole out of a few Cheerios. So I hope you enjoy it, and let's just get into it. So I grabbed some Cheerios, and without any idea of how to pull this off, I decided to use two different techniques, one being a product that you have probably around your house that you hadn't used in a while. I covered this first set in Elmer's glue, and I go in with a brush and make sure that those edges are thinner than the rest of the glue around it. Setting it off to the side, I take the other set of Cheerios and I cover that in liquid latex. Again, not using any new tool. I take a spoon and just make sure that that is covered in the liquid latex and fan out the liquid latex for thinner edges. So my idea behind this look is, let's just say you decided you were not going to go to that costume party and you decided at the last minute, friends convinced you that you should go. What could you do to make sure that you had a look that was bloody, affordable, and easy to do, and that you did not have to run out and buy new material? I was able to let mine dry overnight, but you can use a hairdryer to make sure that those dry quicker. As you see, both peel off the plastic tops pretty easily. Now, because I am using Cheerios to create the bullet hole for this look, I wanted to be sure the back of these were covered. Now, moving on to the liquid latex, I'm using a little bit of cornstarch and I'm powdering that over the bottom when I peel so nothing sticks to itself. And I also powder the outside layer as well. Keep in mind that you do want the cereal to be covered up underneath, because once you put that to your skin, you don't want that to be uncomfortable. And also this gives an opportunity to seal both sides, the top and the bottom. And also, depending on what glue that you're going to use later on, as some adhesives might dissolve the cereal itself. Now, to compare the two, the idea is to make sure that I can have a little bit of height, but something that's not too much protruding off of the head. I try to mash the Elmer's glue. It did not work, so I tried to bang it out on the back of the brush, and that didn't work. It did, however, work for those that was covered in the liquid latex. So I have the ability to control the height a little bit more, but both will work. It just depends on what you have and if you're in this situation, but Elmer's glue will absolutely work. But you can see here that it is pliable. I was able to get a little bit of height off of those, and when I used a tool, I created marks into the glue, which I didn't care for, but you could still use this and use blood to cover it up. But I decided to go with the liquid latex version. Taking the Cheerio, you see that I have cut it, and what I'm going to do is use spirit gum and place that down over the area of my forehead where I want this bullet hole to be. Giving it a few minutes to get tacky before I use it. I place my Cherrio into the center of my forehead, pressing that down and giving it a few minutes to stick, and then going back in with some spirit gum to secure my edges. But you can use eyelash glue for this if it's in a pinch and you're in this situation, and you can also use Elmer's glue. The only thing is you will need to use a hair dryer to get through the drying process to make it stay and be secure. I am using black grease paint. You can use eyeshadow for this, but I wanted to use products that I've had for a while, and I'm just trying to use up some of those products. And I go through, and since the Cheerio is not completely round and symmetric as if a caliper of a bullet would be, I make sure to go through and darken the edge of this to make it look more round. And going in with a little bit of foundation. This is a preference, but you don't have to do this. You can just pop this on and pop some blood on to cover up the seams. I'm not worried about seams today. I'm not worried about too much coloration or matching it to my skin, because I wanted this to be a look that was extremely easy and affordable to do. And here I am taking on a sponge a little bit of a bruise purplish color from this grease paint, and you can also do this again with some eyeshadow. To color the center of this one, I am using a lip gloss. The lip gloss will stay, it'll give it that glossy appearance. It should not dry as quickly as a running or a stage blood, so I choose to show you how you can absolutely use lip gloss for blood. And I'm tapping that color in around the bullet hole area as well. And now that that is done, I'm going in with my stage blood, and I'm dipping my brush into the blood, and I'm going into the center. And when you want running blood that is just as thin as stage blood, you can take your brush and guide it in the direction that you need it to go. As you see me doing here, just a small little line. I don't want this to be bloody and all over the place. I wanted to give it a look that was easy to read. When you see this, you know absolutely what it is. So you see here that the blood is dripping. That's just one full drop into the wound itself, and I'm giving it some time to relax and fall down my face. Using my sponge, I clean up my tools, what's remaining that's left on my brushes, anything that's fallen onto my workstation or that is on my hands. I tap my sponge into that, and this is a good opportunity to place a little bit more blood random around the bullet hole wound itself, and also to cover up any seams that you may have. Imagine going to the party and no one was expecting you to show up, and then you show up with this look, and then you're able to tell everyone, hey, I made this out of a Cheerio. I just think that would be an absolute awesome story to tell people, surprise them when you show up, and still have a good time. And as always, more blood please. So just have fun with this one, put it where you need it to be, and don't forget to subscribe and like if you are enjoying this video. It was fun to think outside the box and come up with a look like this, so I hope you guys enjoyed it. Here is the final look, and if you like to see sneak peeks or behind the scenes footage, you can find me on Instagram and Twitter. Those links are below, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.